I want you to take a look at these pictures from inside an overcrowded migrant facility in Donna, Texas. We do not get these images from the media, or the Biden administration for that matter. They come to us from GOP senators who are clearly more concerned than any Democrat is about the living conditions of the people fleeing their home country in search of Joe Biden's promise of American amnesty. The silence on this from Democrats proves how heartless they are. These people are packed inside what looks like a shelter from a natural disaster. It is unsanitary and inhumane. The blame for this crisis can solely be put on Joe Biden. He wants to hide it, though. Well, Senator Ted Cruz posted this confrontation with who he calls a newly hired Biden staff member at that facility. I will play you the entire clip. It's just over a minute long, because it shows just how hypocritical and secretive this administration is.
Please give dignity to the people. Please give dignity to the people.
So you worked for the commissioner, your senior advisor. You were hired 2 weeks ago, and you're instructed to ask us to not have any pictures taken here.
Please respect the people,
because the political
rules.
Leadership at DHS does not want the American people to know it.
Please respect the rules,
You keep
sir.
standing in front of the pictures, so
Please
you don't want the
respect the
pictures
rules.
taken. The rules are arbitrary, and
Please
they're designed to keep
and
the
give
American
the
people in the dark.
dignity and respect. That's all we ask.
Well,
Dignity
no, it's
and
not.
respect.
You're asking, is this
Please-
dignity and respect? Look at
Please
these people.
give
There's
dignity
a
and
pandemic.
respect to the people.
Let me
I
ask you, there's a
I
pandemic.
respectfully ask you, sir.
There is a pandemic.
With
Is this
full-hearted,
respecting the rights of these
full-heartedly,
kids?
I ask you. Please
Are you
respect
respecting the
people.
rights of these
This
kids?
is not a zoo, sir. Please don't treat the people.
You're right, and this is a
as such.
dangerous place.
Please don't treat the
And
people
your
like
policies,
this. That's all I ask for
unfortunately,
you,
are
sir.
trying to hide them. I understand
That's
you
all
were
I ask
instructed
you.
when 18
I
senators
ask you
came
to
down
please
here.
respect the people, give them dignity
I
and
respect them, and I want to fix this situation.
We all want
and
to fix
the
this, sir. We
administration
don't
you're
want
working
this to
for is
happen
responsible for these conditions.
Please respect the people with dignity and respect,
And
sir.
I ask you to respect the people as well. This
I am
is not
respecting you.
respect.
I am respecting the people.
This is not respect.
Well, that is an American senator from his home state, Ted Cruz, being reprimanded by who? A low-level staffer inside the Biden administration. They later asked those senators to delete their photos. We live in America, folks. A United States senator or any of us do not need to delete the photos and videos from our phones. It's absolutely absurd. And then she says, show the people in their dignity and respect. Does that include making them sleep on the floor with foil blankets? If this occurred under President Trump, the outrage would be far and wide. Instead, we get silence from the left. Their tolerance of this is more proof they don't care about the migrants, their future, or their safety. What they care about is open borders to flood America with potential new voters who will support their radical socialist agenda. And they certainly don't care about stopping the spread of their beloved China virus.
They're not 6 feet apart. They're not 3 feet apart. They're not even 6 inches apart. They're lying on the floor. There are no beds. They're lying on the floor side by side. They're covered with aluminum foil emergency blankets.
And 10% of them have been tested positive for the China virus. They're being released back into America. Now, I want you to hear this. There is an easy solution to all of this, and it could start today. Joe Biden needs to immediately announce migrants will no longer be let into America. It's that easy, so stop coming. He should fly to the border and hold a news conference announcing the border is closed. And you ready for this? Construction of the wall will be restarted by the end of the week. The United States needs to immediately begin the process of using American passenger planes. I don't care whether they're rented from the airlines or military planes, but they need to be used to return these migrants to their home country. Anyone in custody, as of tonight, Joe Biden needs to declare, will be put on a plane and flown home. Children will be accompanied by U.S. government agents and returned to the government of their home country or reunited with their families. The moment this process starts is the moment the mass migration stops. Of course, we know all that won't happen, because for Joe Biden, it's more important he risk the lives of the migrants he has summoned to America in order to use them as pawns to push his sick political agenda. And sadly, It's not just illegal alien lives he is risking either. This massive influx of migrants, many of whom we know are dangerous gang members, no matter what the media wants to tell you, will have a direct effect on American lives too.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, where real news for real people.